Hey Tauruses, it is Chris from Embodying Light. Welcome to your December 2017 reading, and this reading is for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising. So make sure you check out either of those signs and also check the other reading for your rising sign so you can get more clarity on your reading. Please remember that this is a general reading, and I advise you just to take what resonates with you and leave behind what does not. And if you would like a personal reading that's more in tune to your personal situation and your personal energy, you can email me at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com. Now, as many as you know, we are shifting from In the Rough Crystals to Embodying Light. Those changes have already taken place on Instagram. You can follow both of our Instagram pages at Embodying Light Crystals, which is our crystal page. And you can also follow Embodying Light, which is our workshops, our readings, a lot of inspiration material that's there. So make sure you follow both. We're also on Facebook. Our like page is Embodying Light. Now you'll start to see a shift here on YouTube. We're still here as In the Rough Crystals, but we are going to be changing the channel over to Embodying Light very soon, as well as our email, which will be embodyinglight@gmail.com coming up soon. But still, currently, we're using In the Rough Crystals at Gmail for contact for personal readings. And you can also shoot us a message over on Instagram as well if you would like to book a personal reading. So a lot of interesting energies going on for this month. We had the 1111 gateway energy, which is a major portal of evolutionary shift. It's a period of initiations, challenges, testing. It is a period of ascension, enlightenment, and that's just based upon what your personal belief systems are. And bear with me, I have to take a swig of water here. So we've had that going on, which began, we came into that period around November 1st. And then we had the major portal energy on November 11th, and this portal window will close on January 11th. So this is a very important period to release things that aren't serving us. This is a period of letting go of what isn't in flow with your life, what is not the truth of who you are, what is not in alignment with your mission, what you're supposed to work towards, who you are as the highest aspect and the highest form of yourself, and also releasing contracts, karmic bonds, karmic cycles, and ties with people that only came in to serve and teach us lessons about ourselves. That's starting to kind of wind down. So in conjunction with that, we're also in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde serves also as a period of time where we review things like limited beliefs, thought patterns that don't serve us, old contracts from either past situations and also past life energy, or energies that are up for review and are up for release. So when we are in the pre-shadow phase, we're looking at Mercury moving along a path in the sky, along the stars, and where that is in conjunction with your specific birth chart, it's going to give you an idea of what's being highlighted for you to work with during the retrograde period. So anything that's coming up right now for you that is triggering you, any issues, anything that doesn't feel like it has a flow or a natural order to it, is kind of giving you like the pre-game show to what themes you're going to be working through during retrograde. So generally the most intense phase or portion of retrograde is actually when it goes station before it goes in retrograde, and when it stations again to go direct. So that's when we typically feel it more intensely. A lot of people associate retrograde with like the electronics going haywire, just a lot of just miscommunications. So it's really important that this is a time, especially when Mercury is in retrograde, where you double check things. It's not a good time to like sign any like contracts, read fine print. If you were in that position, if you can do anything, like if you're signing a contract for like a business or like you're buying a home, if at all possible, it's generally best during this time to try to delay it till after Mercury's not in retrograde. So it affects communications on that level. But it tends to be a period where people fear just because so many things are in awry. But there's no reason to be afraid of retrograde, because if you look at anything that challenges us or creates pressure or triggers us as an opportunity to grow, then you'll fare well anytime there's a retrograde period, because retrogrades are only designed to help us clear out karmic entanglement and baggage that no longer serves us, so we can step into our highest path, our highest self, and our highest destiny. So if you have any questions about retrograde, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. So we're going to tune into your reading here. So I already have your cards laid out. I am using the Fountain Tarot. I'm also using Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, and I'm using the Past Life Oracle. And I chose these particular decks just because there's a lot of peeling back of like layers, like veil energy, things that we can't see, and a lot of karmic clearing, a lot of clearing also within our ancestral lineages and our bloodlines. So I wanted to use some decks that have the themes of things that we can't see, shadow energy, a lot of symbolic energy. The Fountain Tarot is a very symbolic deck, a lot of sacred geometry, symbology and shapes in that deck. And then the Past Life Oracle, just any themes that are coming up as it resonates with any past life energies. So let me tune in for your reading here. All right. So the first energy that's coming up for me, for you guys, is there is a stepping into your power that is happening in the month of December. And this is not going to be like kind of like a quickening energy. Things that are being cleared during this period of time or are moving out of the way because you're trying to align more with like your sense of self, your self-worth. I feel like there's this energy of like coming out of hiding. So a lot of you may have been just like suppressing, maybe suppressing your feelings, suppressing who you are, like really not sharing yourself with the world, not sharing your gifts, your talents. And now you're being asked to step into the light. And that requires courage. That requires, a person who believes in themselves, that has self-esteem, that the person that's sure of themselves. And it's okay if there's setbacks and there are challenges, but I feel like this is also about an understanding that that's just part of the growth process. We look at what doesn't work, and we let go of it, and then we allow the natural movement and the natural order of things to take place. So we're just, I feel like a lot of the energy for Tauruses for this month is going to be really a huge theme of letting go, and looking at the things that are being let go of as an opportunity for growth, looking at them and understanding what you've been taught, whether this is relationships, whether it's a job, whether it's just any hangups that you've had within yourself. Um, this is really connecting with your feelings. I feel a lot of like water energy here right now. So allowing yourself to experience whatever you're feeling. I feel like this is like diving deep and really seeing the lesson and what's coming up in December for you to work through. And we have the Seven of Wands and the King of Wands in reverse. I feel like for some of you, there's like a lot. What I'm seeing is there's a lot of information coming in, a lot of like downloads, a lot of like your guides, your guardian angels are with you and working with you and trying to nurture you and help you through this process, but like you are refusing to see. It's like your head's buried in the sand like an ostrich, and it's like the light is there and it's blinding you because it wants you to see and it wants you to not hide, and not be kind of like diminished, but there's a resistance. I feel like there's a resistance that is happening. And I feel like some of you want to stay because you're comfortable. You want to stay kind of in that shadow. You want to stay hidden away from the world, not showing yourself. I feel like there's an element of vulnerability that is required here. And vulnerability, again, requires courage. I feel like courage is a huge theme here for Tauruses in the month of December, because I feel like you're going to be placed in very vulnerable spaces and vulnerable situations in your life, and you have to choose differently than kind of hiding the way that you have. This is about stepping up and taking action and stepping into the light, stepping into who you are, peeling back those layers. And self-mastery is coming up. By you working with this energy and not working against it, because again, we're talking about flow here. Again, the water energy. And when we let go of what wants to go, we surrender to this process, and we just trust and we have faith, regardless of whether we can't see what's on the other side. That's the unknown. And this could be fear. This could be fear for some of you guys. So because you're afraid, because you can't see what the outcome may be, or you can't see what's ahead by letting things go that need to go, this can be an element of fear that's here. And fear is an illusion. We still have illusions here. And again, the illusions are refusing to see, which is very, I'm feeling there's a lot of like a lot of karmic energy that a lot of Tauruses are dealing with is, you know, stepping away from the illusion of what we thought even life is, what we viewed ourselves to be. This is a change. This is a paradigm shift that we're going through. We're releasing, and this is everyone, not just limited to the Tauruses in this statement. We're all shifting. The energy is changing very, very rapidly, very quickly, and a lot of the intense transformation energy that everyone is going through is because Source, God, the divine is like, okay, it's time to get everyone to level up and, step into the game. Like, we can't be in this veil anymore. We can't continue to live in these dense and these dark energies. So everyone's being kind of like, it's like being in a pressure cooker. It's like the boiling point. And it's either you're going to crash and you're not going to kind of level up or ascend or step up into your light, into your self mastery. or you're going to, because you have to remember we all have free will. We choose. We have to choose the path, and we can choose to stay. We can stay in old paradigm, like three-dimensional energy, or we can step up into the 5D energy, which is living from our truth and living in our hearts and allowing that to guide us in expression in the world. And I feel like that's what Taurus is looking at this month, is being able to, number one, be vulnerable. So you have to be in your heart and allow yourself to feel whatever it is that steps forward and comes up, and allow yourself to heal in those vulnerable spaces. And I feel like this release, is letting go of and just allowing, is going to be extremely healing, because again, water energy is very cleansing, it's very healing. And I feel like once these illusions wash away, they melt away, the things that are not in essence who you are. I feel like the picture of yourself, the picture of the way that you see the world's going to begin to shift. And there's an opportunity here to create the life that you've always wanted to create. There's a manifestation, abundance energy that's here. So I think it's important for Tauruses this month to also, look at what is it that you want to create in life. Like, how do you use your gifts, your talents to be of service? How do you share that with others? And how do you do that to make the world a better place? And, it's important, to say that we can't change every single person in the world, but we all get planted in the specific cities, the specific communities, that we do for a reason. And when we level up, when we shift, when we step into our power, when we step into our mission, and we're moving in alignment with our path and our destiny, then who we are, our codes activate other people. We begin to draw people to us that are in alignment with what our gifts are. So we kind of find our tribe members. We also, sometimes we attract people to us that need our help in a sense, and that doesn't have to necessarily mean that like you're coaching someone. It could be just someone seeing your energy, whether they realize that they're picking it up or not. It triggers them and into to an awakening kind of energy. I'm feeling like for December, this is really like destined energy around you, kind of like, I feel like a Neptunian energy almost, where with Neptune you can kind of get lost in the illusions and lost in kind of like daydreaming. But if you use it in a well expected, in a positive way, you can use your visionary gifts. Like, I feel like Tauruses are going to be very visionary. If you can really connect with what you want to create and the impact and the mark that you want to have on the world and how you can be of service to others, it's time to start calling that in. We call that in by visualizing what it is that we want to create. And we have to align not only our visualizations, but we have to align our thoughts and also the things that we are speaking into existence, into alignment. Because if we, and this is why a lot of things that we want to manifest and we want to call in do not manifest, is because we put something out there like, okay, I want to meet someone that, I can have a partnership with, or I can spend the rest of my life with. And so you put that out there into the universe, because remember, the universe always says yes to us. That's important to remember. The universe always says yes to us. So you put that out there. So the universe is like, okay, like that's the foundation. You put that energy out there. But then what happens is that your mind and your patterning and your behaviors, if you haven't cleared, your cycles, or if you let's say you have a history of relationships where you don't feel empowered, you have low self-esteem, you've been hurt, so your self-worth and your value is diminished. Going back to the Knight of Coins that's here about being able to step out of the shadows and stop hiding and step into your power. But if you feel like that and you haven't healed that wounding within yourself, because it's really not about the other people, they were only trying to show you something that you needed to learn about yourself that was missing within you. And I feel like that's again where the illusions are, you not being able to see clearly what your lessons and what the things that are coming up for you are trying to show you about yourself so you can heal. But I just feel like if you haven't cleared those energies, then the cycle's going to keep repeating. So again, it's really important to not get stuck under the illusions. But when you clear that energy, now we don't have an energy when you're trying to manifest this new relationship. You don't have like, okay, I've put this out there, and then your mind saying, well, I really don't deserve love. Because that happens in relationships where there's a lot of trauma. Like, we don't realize that where our energy is actually saying, well, I don't really deserve love, or I feel like I'm going to get hurt. So that energy is creating more of creating more situations where you're attracting people who are going to treat you a certain way or carry that energy, because that's the energy signature that you carry. So that's why it's important, and it's not just limited to relationships. It can be a job. It could be just behavioral patterns within yourself that you've carried for, a long period of time, whether it's this lifetime or past lifetimes. But it's important to do this clearing work so that we can come in alignment, so that when we're putting out what we want to manifest, when we're dream weaving, when we're creating what we want, that our thoughts and our energy is in alignment with what we're trying to create. So I feel like that's a huge theme as well. Tauruses are going to be clearing a lot of patterning and kind of reprogramming themselves. And really just reclaiming their power. A lot of solar plexus energy here for Tauruses. But when you're able to clear that, now you have a beautiful foundation and a beautiful framework where you can dream big. And I feel like the energy here is like, dream big. What do you want to call in? Be clear, because the universe is listening to you. And again, my guides are saying just be really mindful about what you're thinking, what you're speaking, and what your energy is saying in regards to what you want to create. And then we also have an energy of like creating a plan. So now that you may have more clarity on your gifts, your mission, and I feel like this is going to kind of this energy is going to kind of come once Mercury goes direct again. Now you have a game plan. Now there's clarity here. So now that you are very clear on what you want to call in, what you want to cultivate in your life, what you want to create, now it's like you have to create a plan. And I'll say this, that you have to create this plan, and when you create this plan, you have to trust, even though you can't see again what's going to happen, you have to trust that it's already here, it's already cultivated. So this means, and I struggle with this too, but it means that when you call something in, you have to believe, you have to speak it as it's already here, that you already have it. If you want to call in a job, you can't be in the mindset, or you can't say like, oh, I hope I really get this job, because your energy signature then says, I hope, I hope, I hope, I hope, and you're always going to be hoping. If you call in, you're just like, I can't wait to start this job. Say you had an interview. I can't wait to start this job. that's saying that you already have the job. So you have to speak whatever it is that you're trying to cultivate as it's already happened, like it's already manifest, because that's how you open up the floodgates of abundance to come in. And you have to trust that it comes in divine timing. The right opportunity, the right situation will open up to you when it's most favorable for your situation. So there's trust that is involved here. But you have to keep the movement going. You have to show the universe, you have to show the divine by, number one, being in the moment and seizing the day. Seizing the day is coming up. In each moment, you have to cultivate an energy of what you are creating, what you're calling in, what you want to cultivate. And this is about creating a game plan. This is about strategizing how you're going to go about getting what you want to cultivate. This is just energy aligning you with yourself. I feel like very Libran energy here. Scales are here. Again, this is a period of like the scales may be out of balance now because there's a lot of dense energy, like dead weight that needs to go, that you're still holding on to. And the shift that's happening, between the 11/11 energy and the Mercury retrograde is just really lightening your load so you can kind of balance out your energy. And Libran energy is about beauty, bringing more beauty to your life so that you can bring more beautiful energy to the world. It's about balance, being balanced in your energy. Again, balance, we're talking about being balanced in what you're trying to manifest, being balanced in your thoughts, being balanced in the words that you speak. When all that is balanced energy, it's in alignment, and it creates, it's like a key, like I'm seeing a key that opens a door and the floodgate of golden light is coming in. And know that what you'll receive will be fair. It will be fair. It will be just, and you'll get exactly what you deserve. And that can be on any aspect. It's kind of like you reap what you sow a little bit. So if you don't clear this energy, if you don't take action, you don't take movement, and you don't seize this opportunity, then you will get what you put in. You'll get what is just. You'll get what's fair. If you do this clearing work that you need to do, if you balance your energy out, if you're very clear about what you want to manifest, and you put the work in, and you stay in each and every moment, the piece of the puzzle start to connect, and you will receive what is just and what is fair. So for the past life energy, before we wrap up, we have the high priest or the high priestess, and we have Egypt. So again, Egypt is very much about initiation energy. This is initiating you onto your higher path, your highest destiny. There's a lot of information coming in again, and a lot of this past life energy I talked about in the beginning of the reading. This is energy coming in from your higher self, from your guardian angels, your guides. It can even be ancestral energy, divine energy, that is nurturing you and trying to nudge you on a path to self-mastery, stepping into your power, and also understanding that when we are stepping into our power and we're trusting in that we're using that energy, we're using our energy, our life force energy, for the higher good. And any misuse of power will not be tolerated. And it won't be tolerated, especially in the new paradigm, in the 5-dimensional paradigm, because that throws you back into dense energies, which is 3-dimensional energy. This is a leveling up of your energy. This is clearing what's not serving you. This is very visionary energy. What do you want to create here, Taurus? And what you want to create a game plan. Make sure you're clear about what you want. Make sure it's in alignment, and you're taking the steps, the actions on all levels, to make sure what you want to create, what you want to breathe into the world is in balance with what you want to cultivate. This is an initiation period for Tauruses. So, stay strong, allow yourself to experience what you need to, clear the energy and let go what you need to clear. Any energy that you clear out that is no longer of service is only creating more energy for you to use to put into what you want to cultivate. Because remember, energy is not destroyed, we're just transmuting it into something else. So what do you want to do with this energy that you're freeing up? That's how I want to wrap up this reading. What is it that you want to create in your life and in the world with this energy that we're freeing up, guys? So hopefully you enjoyed this reading. And again, if you would like a personal reading that's more tailored to your energy and your current situation, feel free to email me at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com. So I will see you guys. Have a beautiful holiday, because we're coming up. I'm recording this in November. We're coming up on Thanksgiving actually this week, and then this reading's actually for December. So this also is going to cover Christmas and New Year. So have beautiful holiday season, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great, beautiful, loving Christmas. And 2018 is an 11 year, so a lot of beautiful things can happen, manifest, and a lot of expansion within the self can happen for 2018. So like really, really, really hone in on the last leg of this year, clearing out what needs to go. Allow the cycles that are going on in your life to be completed. What they're also, my guides are telling me, for some people, there's a lot of contracts that are going to be ending. So whatever your process is for letting go, some people like to write things down and burn them. I like the idea of, writing out like a new contract, saying like, this, energy, situation, relationship, whatever it is, no longer serves me. And on this date, I, upon my own free will, cancel this contract you signed, date it, you tear the contract up. Now you've ended that energy, but there's still an energy that can be used. Write a new contract for what you want to cultivate and send that out into the universe. So whatever your process is in that, however you want to work into it, again, whatever resonates with you, use. But very, 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 very beautiful energy here that can be cultivated here for Tauruses. So, and thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you for your reading in 2018. Blessings.